Hey everyone, welcome to another Mountain Man Monday. This is live stream episode 32, and today is June 22nd, 2020. I hope everyone, as always, is having a great start to your week on this Monday, getting the week rolling. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, especially any of the fathers out there for Father's Day. Wishing you a happy Father's Day to all those that celebrated this last weekend, and just hope everybody's well and safe and doing all right. As always, I welcome everyone who's going to watch this tonight live, and also for the folks that are watching this after the fact, and these are always archived in the live stream playlist on the Mr. Mountain Man channel, youtube.com/Mr. Mountain Man. And I want to do something to lead off the show also is to anybody who's watching this for the first time. I would like to welcome anyone new to the channel and say happy to have you here. As always, provide feedback on the videos or chat. Feel free to chat in the live stream. Let us know how you're doing, what you like, and get involved in the Mr. Mountain Man channel and community. So hope you're enjoying it. So I wanted to extend a warm welcome to anybody who's new to the channel, and also to our regulars that are in the community. So as we get this episode 32 rolling here in official start to summer for June, let's go ahead and see who's here. We got Dale Bush says, hey, Mr. Mountain Man, looked like your Father's Day was good with your cookout. Yes, it was. And when we get into the housekeeping, I'll share a couple of those pictures that you were able to see on Instagram. And hope you had a nice weekend as well, and are enjoying and getting a great start to your week. Let's see, we've got Triple M Mom. It's got Mom here. Hello, Mom. I hope you're having a great day. Mom just messaged me and said that she was going to be joining. And we've got old buddy of mine, Faye. Faye, I hope you're doing well and having a great start to your week. I keep tabs on. Faye has a YouTube channel as well. And Faye, if you want to put that YouTube channel name in the chat and let people know what it's about, that'd be pretty cool. I did follow you or subscribe, excuse me, on the Mr. Mountain Man channel. So tell everybody about your YouTube channel as well. We got Dale Bush saying, hey, Mr. Mountain Man Mom. And we got Jason, a good buddy of mine as well. Jason, welcome. I know you're having a decent start to your week. I think you are. Also, again, happy Father's Day to Jason and everybody else that celebrated Father's Day this weekend. Hope everybody's having a good start to the week. It was the official start of summer. Had a full weekend. I'll get into that in a couple of minutes here as we start talking about housekeeping and such. Had a great weekend. I'll share some of those pictures off of Instagram and go through that again when we talk about the housekeeping, and finally got a new format set up for the news and notes of the week for the Mr. Mountain Man live stream. I hope that I think it's a much more refined. You guys can give me feedback when we get to that in a few minutes here. The idea is that my live streams, because of my fantastic mountain internet, use just about every bit of bandwidth to share my beautiful, handsome mountain face with you all. I say that obviously tongue in cheek. And so I have to make, I think when I was bringing up the physical sites to share with you all, the advertisements and all the videos and stuff that were in those tabs were taking a strain on the video. And so I think that, yeah, I see a comment down here. We got, first of all, I'll say hello to Foxy Wolf. Hello, Foxy Wolf. Good to have you here on Monday. As always, hope you're having a great start to your week. Jason says 28K baud modem. Yes, that is true. It feels like that. For those, I'm sure everybody remembers what those are, but if there's any non-techie people, we're talking about the old modems, or, made the noise when you dial up, all that stuff. So a couple things I'm doing tonight to try to better it. You guys give me feedback. One, as recommended last week by Saxy Matt, this was kind of a no-brainer, but I didn't think about it first. I downgraded the resolution on the stream to 380, which is low def, which is fine as long as it's clear. That's all I care. And second, I'm not bringing up the tabs. I've got a more refined format for sharing the news and notes of the week, which won't be pulling bandwidth off the web. So hopefully that's a 1-2 punch to help out with the live stream tonight. Please let me know the quality. I know we're not in 4K here, but there's a big difference between literally what Jason's saying here with a 28K modem, like when I show up grainy, and at least halfway decent. And I just jumped down real quick. Faye says video is clear. That's good. That's initial good feedback. Thank you. If it gets too grainy, again, I'm never perfectly like high def just because of the upload restrictions I have. But if it ever does get bad, let me know, because right now I'm crossing my fingers that all these things I'm trying are working. So let me jump back up to Faye. I need to post. I haven't in a long time been doing a lot of Facebook Lives. I do gardening and woodworking on my channel, Spaffin9. So Spaff, S-P-A-F-A, if I said the Spay for Spaffin9, check that out if you like woodworking. Also, our good friends over at the White Lab Workshop that made me this mallet. Faye, you might find this pretty cool. My buddy Brent at the White Lab Workshop, that's another woodworking channel on YouTube. He made this for me. If you guys haven't seen it, this thing is really cool. I've showed it on a few live streams. Brent over there, he's got a cool channel. Jason has a channel. If anybody has a channel and wants to promote, you're always welcome to do that. We got cheers from Foxy Wolf to Triple Mom and everybody. We've got Chad Lovelace here. Did I hit the wrong one? Chad Lovelace says, good evening. Yes, good evening to you. Rita, good to have you here as well. Rita, always a great longtime supporter of the channel and really appreciate that. Everybody here is just awesome. Oh, look, we got somebody new here. We got Liz here. Hey, Liz, glad to have you here along with Jason. I don't know if you're both. So you guys are lucky. You guys can stream, or you can both watch the stream at the same time. You have great internet. But, you know, I traded the great internet for the mountain views. So I don't know. Yeah, so good to have you here. And say hello to the family from us here. Yeah, Mom says, when we were young, we used tin cans and string. That's right. I was actually watching one of the Father's Day gifts I got was something I requested. It's an old docudrama from HBO, initially narrated by Tom Hanks. It's called From Earth to the Moon. Not the one, Mom, that we watched from the Ken Jules Verne, but this is the one that was, I believe, 1998, maybe to 2002, somewhere in that range they made it. It was like a 12-part series. I got it on Blu-ray for less than $10 off eBay, but it was a Father's Day gift. Started watching it. The Apollo 1 mission that was unfortunately a tragedy where they died, they were irritated that day because they couldn't communicate between downstairs at Kennedy Launch Control and up in the command capsule on top of the Saturn V. And I forget if it was Robert Chaffee or who got frustrated. And they said, or no, it was Deke Slayton in command control. He said, we're going to get you some tin cans and string. Of course, that, again, also was being sarcastic because we're, NASA and space program. But that made me think of that. So, yeah, for those of you that follow me week to week into my documentary trend right now, I'm probably on the tail end of some Gemini Mercury Apollo missions. I was doing space shuttle with Challenger, space shuttle program. I go through my documentary phases. I love them. So yeah, let's see. We got Big Daddy here. Big Daddy, hello to you, and I hope you're having a great start to your week. Also, Ted and Deborah Harrison, good evening. Mr. Matwin and everybody else in the chat, you're going through loud and clear. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback. And I should know better than putting my fingers in front of the camera, because then I get out of focus and I have another problem. And those of you that are here week to week will laugh at me because I always have to come in and out until that thing goes in. It's a great camera. It's a Logitech Brio. These things are like gold. You can't even get them anymore. Well, I don't know. Maybe they're getting easier now with COVID, but I'm sorry. Like, now it's fuzzy. It's not fuzzy because of the bandwidth. It's fuzzy because I put my fingers in front and gave a thumbs up. Hopefully it comes back. Loggy Doggy, hello, Mr. Moutman. Hello to you as well. And Kentucky Girl, we've got you. Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome everyone, whether you're just hanging out in the background, listening like a podcast, or joining us at the front end. If you're new to this, I have a format where I do news notes of the week, which we will roll into right now. And boy, this is driving me crazy. I really wish, let me see if I can move this thing. Yeah, I'm back in focus. At least on my end, I'm back in focus. The little things make me happy. All right, news and notes for the week. Let's start with what Dale was talking about. So I'm heading over here to Instagram. For those of you that don't know, Instagram / Mr. Mountain _man. So I have some cool pictures. Even if you checked them out, I'm going to put some words to the pictures. I did have a new video come out last week. I can't remember the timing. It may have been out by the time this Mountain Man Monday happened, or it came out after it. I can't remember. It may have been after. Went to Metcalf Bottoms Park over in Tennessee about a week ago. I like the quality of the video. For me, of course, I enjoyed the experience, but I'm liking that all the moon and stars are finally aligning, and all the things that I want to do in a video are starting to come together. So I really enjoyed that. Even if you don't live in the mountains or you're not going there, it's a cool video. It's less than 10 minutes. Check it out. You might find it interesting. That's on the Mr. Mountain Man channel. It's a really serene, kind of fun, calm place. Have a picnic. Put your feet in the water. It's really cool. Father's Day weekend. I hope, let me make sure I can, yes, you can see this. All right. Father's Day weekend, I went on a motorcycle ride. So I finally got a new helmet. It's the one in the picture there. It's a very nice, I'm all about safety. So that's a full face helmet. It's top of the line. It's got excellent certifications on it. I got my riding gear jacket that has armor in it. So I ride safely. I went on a ride from Asheville up to Mount Mitchell, which if you guys haven't seen my Mount Mitchell video, check that out. We went last winter, but I'll have another video coming out of my adventure in here, which I hope you all enjoy. That's my motorcycle. It's a Marauder 1600 2004. I got new tires on it last week. It rides unbelievably. It's very nice now. So I got the battery is all charged up. I got new tires on it and the new helmet. So I went out for a ride, and originally I was going to just go up to Mount Mitchell and come back. But I was having such a good time, I decided to take the long way home, which we did when we went there in the winter, which is to come back, head north on the Blue Ridge Parkway, take, I forget what it is. It's 180 or 80 or something up to Burnsville, over 19. But then I saw another road that's 127, and you guys can't see a map, so you're probably wondering all these roads I'm talking about. But I'm looking on my phone, and I'm like, this looks like a cool route to get back to Asheville. So I'm heading, I stop at a gas station, I get something to drink, start heading down this 127. There's like nobody there. Beautiful mountains, streams, just awesome. Awesome ride. And I'm going like a half an hour to 40 minutes out one direction, and all of a sudden, I'm winding up these hills, loving the ride, and then the road stops. It turns into gravel and dirt. For those of you that aren't motorcycle riders, that kind of bike right there, you don't go on gravel and dirt. It's dangerous and not happening. There was one other car there, and I asked the gentleman, I said, do you know where, is this like a little construction? Like if it would have been 100 feet or a few hundred, I would have gone through. But he told me it was 8 miles long. So I had to turn around, go back a half an hour, 40 minutes back to Burnsville, caught 19 to 26 back into Asheville. So it ended up being not a 125-mile ride. It ended up being 160 miles, which I had no problem. It was about a 6.5-hour ride. That was fun. That was fun. I've had that bike for a long time. I loved it. It was awesome. So I got a video coming this week, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Maybe get to view a little bit of that day. Again, Mount Mitchell is the highest point east of the Mississippi. That area right there at 6578 is not the summit. You have to walk up a little bit more. That's in my other video. But that view right there, I love that picture. That's just a super, super cool picture. The next day, we went to Pisgah National Forest out past Brevard. We had not been here before. This was at the Stillwater pull-off, and they had picnic tables and grills. We had bought everything to go do a cookout. And unfortunately, as soon as we got there, it started raining. So we got back in the car, but it only lasted like 10 minutes. We knew it wasn't a front coming through. It was just speckles. So once that pushed through, we started up the fire. I think I have a little video right here. I started up the barbecue. There was a little bit of water. There was like a river back there where the kids could play. It's right back in that area there. It was really nice. And so that was a nice Father's Day. I grilled out some hamburgers and hot dogs, and it's a real nice area there. There were some people fishing. I was throwing some rocks, skipping stones. Kids were playing in the water. Gotta love the mountains. That was a lot of fun. Today, we had a bear in the out the yard, and that's pretty cool. I'll be talking about some of that in the news and notes. Check out that bear right there. So it's bear season. We don't get a lot of bears, not like over in Tennessee, like when we've stayed at Gatlinburg and places like that. But it was pretty cool. He was walking through and lifted up a rock and was looking for some food. So that was really cool to see that bear. So I tell you what, summer's in full swing, and the bears are out. The mountains are awesome. The weather is good. I can't complain. And when we go to these places, you know, you've heard me if you've been on my other live streams, we're able to manage our own personal social distancing. We are not going to places that are highly populated. Like when you look at either my videos or these places, there's you know, the people are few and far between, and we're outdoors and wide apart. And I carry my mask with me and all that good stuff. So that's one of the nice parts about being in a little bit more rural area, is that in order to get entertained this summer, you know, we're able to manage a little bit of outdoor activity. So that's the catch up and the backstory to some of my Instagram videos. Some of you are interested, some of you are not. I have another YouTube channel. You guys that are new may have not heard it before. It's called The Eclectic Handyman. I have a couple new videos. You know, the word eclectic is real important here. That's why I called it that, because it's not consistent. It's just all about tools and repairs. And I've got car repairs, and the gas line broke on my weed trimmer, so I replaced that. That's a new video. And so if you like that kind of thing, you might enjoy that channel. But again, I've warned you, there's no continuity other than it's eclectic, and it's in the realm of fixing tools, handyman, and fun stuff like that. So let me think, what else is in housekeeping? I hope I put the right banner on. If I put news and notes when I jump back, let me see what I got here. Heading back. Oh, I did news and notes. Look at that. I always do that. Like, it doesn't really matter, but like, I always have the wrong banner, and I have them in order. That is housekeeping. That's not the news and notes. Disorganized. That's the housekeeping. Now we'll go to news and notes. Before I do that, let me just look real quick. Just see if anybody, a couple new people came in. Hello, Marvin. Hello, Traveling Hoosier. Yeah, Chad, you'll love it. You will love Mount Mitchell. Check it out. It doesn't disappoint, no matter what time of the year. I've now been there in December and in June. Love it. You know, I'm a huge Rush fan. I'm biased, but you should wear Neil Peart's books. He wrote it all about motorcycle rides. Yes, he did. He had a touring bike. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Neil Peart, the drummer from Rush, had a bike that would have gone on that off-road area. I thought I saw him that in one of the documentaries, he had a BMW, or maybe like more like a on-road, off-road type bike. He could go really long distances. That's a great point. That is cool, Jason. Foxy Wolf, let's hear it for safety. Arrive alive, you bet. And my bike's loud. I got loud pipes save lives. If you've ever seen that bumper sticker. The only time I've seen bears other than a zoo in real life was at a dump in northern Wisconsin. Everyone would go there, park, and watch the bears come in. This is years ago. That's awesome, Dale. I think Jason's been up to Wisconsin. Jason, are the dumps littered with bears? If you're still around, or Liz, I don't know. I don't know about northern Wisconsin. You know, northern Michigan, northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota. I could be completely wrong here. In my travel of the United States knowledge, those to me are like undervalued, overlooked places in the summer, probably. Like the Upper Peninsula, the UP of Michigan, the northern part of Minnesota, I believe, and Wisconsin, like up that area, there's some, it's supposed to be some great places. to visit. Again, I heard in the summer months. Yeah, Jason said no, the dumps do not have a lot of bears. So did you go create a traffic jam in the yard when the bear came out? Foxy remembers the story. I was about to tell it again. Thank you, Foxy. Yeah, because Foxy remembers it exactly. I went to Cades Cove. Or I think you're referring to this story. Well, Cades Cove is notorious for backups for bears, which I think is worth it because, like Dale, bears are more of a rarity in my book. But living in the Midwest, deer are about like bunny rabbits. They're everywhere. But I got in a huge traffic jam for a deer at Cades Cove, and I was less than impressed when the huge traffic jam and stop. I think somebody's like, there's a 3-point buck or something. Oh yeah, it's cool, but it was like 150 yards or 200 yards out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, let's not the deer. I don't know where you're from if you haven't seen a deer before, but yeah. So I never saw a bear all my years in Wisconsin, but I was in the northern parts either. Okay, all right. So that's a great segue that Jason's talking about. I'm sorry, I already did housekeeping. Now it's news and notes. And I got something new, so bear with me. I got a better method I put together this evening. Let's do this. Let's check this out. Yeah. Yes. All right. All right. Let me remove the banner. There we go. All right. Let's try this out. I'm happy for the feedback, by the way. Okay. So if you guys want to tell me about feedback on what you think of this format, but this is what I'm planning to do. So I'm still bringing to you the current news and fun things from the mountains and also actual current events, as you'll see. I'll get into it as well. I want to do it without having the actual site up, but I still cite it. If anybody is interested, you can't click the link on the page, but I do cite this. This is news that I'm pulling from the web. So, no, present, come back. There, I just wanted this. No, I want that little thing to go away. There we go. Wait, go away. Can you guys see that? What does that look like? Yeah, okay, there we go. I just have to stop moving the mouse. All right, article number 1. Speaking of what we're talking about, look out for bears in popular Western North Carolina hiking spot, Forest Service warns. This was from the Charlotte Observer. Charlotte is about 2 hours from where we live. Some of the notes out of there. Black bears are active in parts of Pisgah National Forest that are frequented by visitors during the summer months. And guess where I was yesterday? Pisgah National Forest, that barbecue. That's exactly where it was. 60% of the state of North Carolina is home to the black bear. It's increasing in numbers. It's mostly on the coast and the mountains here. North Carolina Wildlife Resource Commission manages this population of approximately 15,000 black bears. So while we don't see them a lot, there are plenty in the state, so you should see them. Some of the reasons for this, it could be that this time of the year when the berries haven't really popped out yet, and so the bears are hungry. McVeigh told the Citizen Times, that's our newspaper here in Asheville, but it also could just be the bears have been conditioned to rely on sources of food provided by people, whether that's garbage or birdseed or intentional feeding. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, about the people food. According to the National Park Service, black bears are the most active in the early morning and the late evening. So if you want to see them here in Western North Carolina, go out in the morning, go out in the evening. You might not see them in the middle of the day. During the spring and summer, I don't see them in the winter. Female bears and their cubs are also likely to emerge from their winter dens in late March or early April. Black bears' keen sense of smell will lead it straight to human food and garbage left behind at campgrounds and picnic areas or along trails, according to the Park Service. But feeding the bears or allowing them to munch on that garbage can be dangerous, particularly because it can desensitize them to humans, pose a risk to the public's safety, and often call bears to live shorter lives, say the rangers. I should have taken a picture for you all yesterday. We left that Stillwater pull-off on Pisgah National Forest, and we went to another one that was full when we originally got there. I'm glad we didn't go to it because it wasn't as nice. I had my wife get out of the car and go look and just scope it out for next time if that was nicer. It turned out it wasn't. It wasn't as close to the river. It was terrible. Like, there was trash everywhere. If any of you all have been to a sporting event where tailgating's allowed and people leave stuff in the parking lot, imagine that, but in the national forest. I don't understand people. And I know I'm probably, doing a little bit of whining here, but like, I think it's warranted. I mean, the mountains are beautiful. The national parks are beautiful. It doesn't take that much to take a Walmart bag and just take your trash home, because they don't have trash cans. They want you to take out what you bring in. So there's like plastic bottles and trash and all kinds of crap, like all over the ground. I couldn't believe it. I don't understand. I mean, I guess people have always confused me on what some motives of some people, but this in particular is pretty bad. Like, if you're going to go enjoy the forest and enjoy that time, don't be a litter bug. I mean, don't we learn this stuff when we're like 5 or 6 years old? Like, don't litter, don't be a litter bug. It's bad though. And the reason it's bad, not for aesthetics only, for a lot of reasons. One, with all the cutbacks to, funding and federal parks and that, there's not a plethora of park rangers on sanitation duty to begin with. They have bigger things to do, like make the trails nice and, safety and other things than cleaning up after our garbage. The second thing is it's dangerous for the animals. As I just read, bears eat that stuff and it can kill them if they don't know how to hunt anymore. They eat the wrong thing and it gets stuck in their stomach. It's just bad news. I'm probably preaching to the choir. I'm not that you all have that, but I was just a little dumbfounded, because I don't know if I saw that as much over in like Tennessee, but I'm not over there as much. But yesterday in particular, it just seemed kind of, it wasn't too cool that occurred. So it's a shame, because now some park ranger, and it was night, they're not working at night. So that stuff blown around with the wind, and then somebody's got to come pick it up the next day, or the next group that comes in the next morning has got trash all over the place. So that's terrible. I wish there was a way to correct that. Next up, check out that little bear. That's on I-40. If you've ever gone through, I think it's called the Gorge, like going out to Tennessee or coming into Asheville. This is an article from the Citizen Time. Forest Service warning, be on the lookout for black bears in Pisgah National Forest. Now, here's an interesting tidbit. For those of you who have never encountered a bear, or might, or going to plan on hike, or you're being near a dumpster in Wisconsin, here is what they say. This is from the article. To avoid bear attacks, experts recommend the following. 1, keep your dog in a leash in areas where bears are reported. Yeah, and that's, believe it or not, that sounds obvious, but I think that is that can be harder than you think. Think about it. You get out in the mountains, you got a big field, and you got Fido there, and you want to let him run a little bit, take a dump or do whatever. You might not have him on the leash all the time. I think a lot of responsible people would, but it's nature. So your inclination, if you have a well-trained dog, might be to let it roam a little bit. Not a good idea. If you notice a bear nearby, pack your food and trash immediately and vacate the area as soon as possible. Well, there's a couple problems there, because people don't pack their trash up, and I'm sure they'll take their food. But no, it is true. Like if you're having a picnic, that could be a little hard. Like yesterday, it might have been difficult. Like if we had bears, we probably would have gone and got in the car, and then I would have had a great YouTube video, but they would have gotten some burgers and hot dogs, because I don't know if we would have had time to pack it all up. If a bear approaches, move away slowly. Do not run. Get into a vehicle or a secure building. There's some funny videos out on YouTube of where the bears can still climb up on the car. And, I don't know how smart they are, but there's some really cool videos of like bears opening doors and doing stuff like that. So if you get in the car, lock the door. This one you may have heard as well. If necessary, attempt to scare the animal away with loud shouts by banging pans together or throwing rocks and sticks at it. So if any of you get into a fight with a bear and you got some pans, you can start banging them together or throw some rocks. I want to hear all about that. I'm going to invite you to the live stream and tell me all about the time that you wrestled a bear and you beat up on a bear. But honestly, that is the tactic. I've heard that many times. Apparently, the intimidation factor will scare a bear away. They're just hungry. And these aren't brown bears. These are black bears. There's a big difference. Black bears don't tend to be as aggressive, from what I've heard, as brown bears. If you are attacked by a black bear, try to fight back using any object available. That's all these guys right here. Act aggressively and intimidate the bear by yelling and waving your arms. Playing dead is not appropriate. Yeah, because then they might think you're food. So there's your 101 survival from the Asheville Citizens Times on how to avoid bear attacks in case you come and encounter a bear. Again, at a dumpster in Wisconsin or at Pisgah National Forest when you're cooking out hamburgers and hot dogs for Father's Day. I will get to your comments in a minute. I can't see them in the background, so I'm going through. I hope you all are able to hear this. This is going to be terrible one day if I'm like, my screen is not sharing right, or if you guys are like, let me see. Okay, it's still sharing. I see comments, so we must be okay. All right. I did want to bring this up from more of a just reporting the news. This was from iHeartRadio. I got an email this evening. It's just something to be aware about because the nature of this channel is like going out and doing stuff, you know, and I talked about that earlier, you know, maybe being in the mountains, or I've gone to Myrtle Beach and I've gone to restaurants, you know, in the past, and just stuff that I do. And then who knows, I'm not confined to just that. You might see new and neat things from the channel, but because the nature of this is like doing stuff, you know, it's worth mentioning. This article from iHeart was talking about the rise in the states, and it mentioned more young people. In fact, in Florida, according to the article, health officials found that 62% of new cases were in patients who were under 45 years old. And that makes sense because a lot of the younger people, again, just from my observation, have thrown caution to the wind, maybe not using masks, not doing social distancing. It's not so much that they're out, it's the behavior and patterns once people are out. This was interesting, and this is on topic. It had a list of the states that had a continued increase in coronavirus over the past week. This was current as of today. One of the states in there was Tennessee. Okay, of this region, let me name a couple that maybe people are on here: Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee were all on that list of increasing. 17 states have seen the number of new cases drop in the past week. Those states include some of the ones to mention, and the one I really wanted to mention was North Carolina. None of the others to mention. There's a bunch in the Northeast and some others, but North Carolina was on that list. North Carolina is conservative. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about the word conservative in the approach to COVID. Governor Cooper has been, you know, like him or not, he has definitely had the public's health interest at the forefront. He's been very conservative. It has not just been an open it up kind of thing. So however you want to process that information, if you come to North Carolina, some people might say, the heck with it, I can't do a lot of stuff, I'm going over to Tennessee. It has gotten better. A lot more has opened up as far as like hotels and restaurants and things like that. But gyms, movie theaters, bowling alleys, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. A lot of that's not open. So it's just something to be aware about, that if you're planning to go into a crowded area, just be aware that this is still happening. It's still a happening thing. So just be aware. That's all there is to that one. Speaking of North Carolina, all the North Carolina businesses could reopen. Here's what it might look like in Charlotte. Now, again, the reason I'm bringing up Charlotte is because this is from the WBTV, which is a news station down in Charlotte. It's just interesting, some of the approach to it. There was a gentleman, the owner, he said, of Victory Lane Events and Entertainment Center in Mooresville, which is just north of Charlotte. And he said he's willing to risk a fine or even jail to reopen the bowling. Now, I'm going to talk about this in a second. He's he was the local Chamber of the Commerce 2020 Entrepreneur of the Year and said he's lost $750,000 in revenue so far during the coronavirus closing. He questions the fairness of allowing small restaurants and retailers with a greater potential of crowding to reopen. To quote him from this article, "We are officially in phase enough is enough," Crimes told the Charlotte Observer. So obviously a lot of frustration from business owners. This is an imperfect situation, you know, balancing public safety versus the economics. Way above my pay grade, and all I can say is I don't think there is a perfect answer to it. Again, that's just my opinion that doesn't take it for what it's worth, which is about nothing. But that's since it's my live stream, I'm talking about it. So I feel badly for people like that. I feel badly for the folks that have to open a set of doors with an open sign and need the public. It's a tough situation. And you can see from that the frustration. Speaking of movie theaters in the Charlotte area, Regal, if you guys have heard of Regal Entertainment, we have those here in Asheville as well. They're going to reopen theaters around July 10th. And I was interested to see how they're going to do that because I think about movie theaters and the stagnation of sitting for so long. Safety and health procedures will include contactless options for sanitizing seat with an electrostatic fogger equipment. Workers and guests will be required to wear masks and they will be made available needed according to the website. You know, I had seen that in Asia when the news was happening, like those foggers. Why aren't they using them here? Were they like why can't I assumed that was like disinfecting the area. Again, this is way outside my wheelhouse. I have, I'm talking about mountains and tools on the Eclectic Handyman, and this is not my trade or expertise, but I did always wonder. So when I see the fogger here, I was like, oh, that, I've seen other countries do that. I wonder, what's up with that. So maybe that'll be a good thing. Theaters are offered a reduced menu, no self-service stands or refills. Reserved seating will leave 2 empty seats or 1 empty recliner between the guests. Again, I'm going to make a comment about that outside my pay grade. If somebody had the virus 3 seats away and was hacking up and sneezing, I don't know if 3 seats is enough or not. I don't know. I'm not inferring that it is or it isn't. I don't know. Like, it stinks. Like, I'm not happy about it like anybody else. Like, I want to do fun stuff too. I want to go out to eat. I want to go back to a restaurant and go out to eat. That's probably the number one thing. I can do without the theaters. We got great home entertainment and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's fun to go movies, but I'm curious about I don't know. I just don't know how this will work. We'll just have to see. I think the one thing that I'm hoping that the awareness of people, like I've had several conversations, if you would think of a year ago, a lot of people would get the flu and just march on through. They'd go to the grocery store or go to work or do whatever. I think society's tolerance for dealing with people sneezing heavily or red in the face or blowing their nose is probably little to none. I think if somebody was exhibiting that behavior, it would, whereas a year ago, people might be like, oh gosh, that person's sick. I think now somebody'd say, sir, ma'am, I think you need to leave, or you don't look well. You need to take off. I don't know. I think that awareness and that transparency, I think most people would feel much more forward about telling a stranger, you don't look well. You need to leave this establishment or whatever. I think so. Lastly, Carowinds. I talk about that because, the Dollywood theme park, and you all have regional theme parks where you are. I don't know if Jason's still around. They have one called Valley Fair, which is part of Cedar Entertainment up in Minnesota and Ohio. They have Cedar Point. In North Carolina, they have Carowinds. In Virginia, they have King's Dominion. They're all over the country. I don't know what everybody's doing. Carowinds, the one here, it's still tentatively scheduled to reopen July 27th, but the governor hasn't made a decision on that and some of the other things. And the last article, hey, I like lifting weights. What's my shirt say? Gold's Gym. I don't know if you can see that. Governor Cooper vetoes bill to reopen gyms. This, again, goes along with his conservative nature about the public safety first. So I do this to report the news. I'm not really, open the gyms, I got to get back. I would love to be back at the gym, but only safely. But I did want to read about this. For this article from WCNC, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper has vetoed a bill that would have allowed gyms to open. The bill, which is identified as HB 594, was passed by the State House and Senate and would have allowed gyms, health clubs, and fitness centers to reopen without a change to the governor's planned reopening initiative. The state currently remains in phase 2. So to me, that reads that this would have been an exit ramp for these specifically to open. Under the current phase 2 rules, restaurants could operate inside and outside dining at limited capacity. Phase 3 is anticipated to allow additional businesses, such as bars and gyms, to reopen, but Cooper has stopped short promising when that will happen. There's no guarantee. I did hear on the financial news recently that this is going to be an interesting dynamic. And even if you don't work out or go to a gym, you can still appreciate the news story here. The mentality of home workouts has changed a little bit. I think certainly for folks that do a lot more cardio or in-place type workouts, I know that NordicTrack sales have gone up. Beachbody is like a subscribed service where you can do at-home workouts. They have like a 60 or 70% increase in subscriptions, like March to June or January to June or something like that. All these services are doing really well. It's an interesting time for the economy because a lot of places are not doing well, like maybe movie theaters and restaurants and local businesses, but there's a lot that have thrived, like telehealth and video conferencing and online workouts and a lot of other areas. So it's interesting. So no gyms for now, per safety, at least in the state of North Carolina. So I thought I would bring that up. And there you have it, folks. That is the news and notes for the week of June 22nd, 2020. I hope you all enjoyed that. I have lots of comments to attend to, but I probably won't get lost completely in these so that I don't get too far behind because I want to get current. Yes, Rita is right. Looks like the new used beard trimmer is working well. That thing was kind of nasty. I had to clean it up, and I spent like 20 minutes with hot water and beard oil spray cleaning that thing, every last hair, but it did work pretty nicely. Yeah, thankfully, because last week I was starting to really get a bushy beard. And so, yeah. Oh, thank you for the update, Rita. Still showing clear. Appreciate that. If it changes, let me know. Let's see here. That looked like fun. Let's hear it for safety. Yep. Oh, I must have scrolled really fast. Sorry, I'm coming right back. Oh, thank you, Faye. Love the format so far. It's fun having you here too, Faye. And again, when Faye gets her channel going on woodworking, if you like that, check it out again. I am in Southern Indiana, Kentucky line. We have deer everywhere. Yes, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, so Corgi Lover, yeah, validated what I said earlier. The Upper Peninsula of Michigan is extremely underrated. There are a ton of waterfalls and hiking, and oh yeah, mosquitoes. Yeah, especially in the summer. I wonder if there's like YouTube channels up there because the television, like not documentaries, but shows that have shown that area. It's beautiful in the summer. It's like really cool. Kentucky Girl says you may see a deer in the outskirts, or a Loggy Doggy did. Foxy Whiff says I have bears, boars, coyotes, foxes, deer, and an alligator, and a panther and snakes. Yeah, in Southern Georgia. On that list, we have bears, coyotes. We have coyotes here in the mountains. Fox, deer. We do not have alligator. Not sure about panther. Definitely do have snakes. When we lived in Florida, we had everything. When I lived in Florida, there were bears, which most people don't think. There are black bears in Florida's weird. Yeah, black bears and alligators, snakes, spiders that would kill you, hurricanes, tornadoes, and once every 15 years you get snowflakes and ice. Florida's nuts. That's a crazy place. I know some people that live off Gene Snyder, and they have a lot of deer in the yards. Okay, my in-laws live in the UP of Michigan. It's definitely underrated. We just got back. Beautiful trails, nature and waterfalls, so peaceful away from the city. Yes, Chad Lovelace. It's definitely probably a place to check it out. You know, when like anybody so you all have been there, and it's just really, really far. I like just the state of Michigan to get to the top. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like 6 to 9 hours from like Detroit up. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, because then you got to go way up there. It might even be more. Let me know. Mom doesn't like snakes. I know snakes are. Nobody likes snakes. I don't know. Snakes are weird. I like my Mustang Cobra, but there's no real snake involved. Yeah, rats. Actually, rats are weird. Foxy Wolf. Twice in my life, I've had pet rats. I brought them home in the first grade, and I remember because my mom's here. We had pet rats in our class called Salt and Pepper. And the teacher wanted somebody to bring them home for the summer. So I went home and I asked my parents, could I bring home rats? And they're like, what? They thought I was joking. But indeed, they let me. And we got to bring home Salt and Pepper for the summer. And later, when I was in college, I got the rats are cheap at the pet store. They're like $5. So I bought another black and a white one and had Salt and Pepper again. Yeah, so that was fun. I have had pet rats, but I don't like real rats, mice, any of that. Yeah, there's some stuff that needs to stay outside. Right now, I'm having a real problem with moles in the yard. Can't stand those things. They destroy my grass. Drives me crazy. I was thinking more city. I see some of them off Gene Snyder too, where I live. That's the deer. I live in the middle of no place, right at Florida border, so I get it all. Yes. My old neighborhoods were Germantown and the Highlands. I've been in southern Indiana for a while. Dale Bush says northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan are all underrated. Yes, yes, yes. Can totally agree. We go to Munising in the UP sometimes. Love it there. If I said that incorrectly, I apologize. Yes, we learned not to litter in preschool or prior. Again, I couldn't believe yesterday when it was like that. Yeah, I heard Michigan has mosquitoes big enough to sound right. Mosquitoes stink. One of the things that's nice about the mountains, I'll tell you, is they've gotten not as bad. Florida, it stunk like year-round. Mosquitoes, ugh. Like every time I'd mow the grass, I mean, you DEET all over and spray or that cream. Yeah. Yes, they are big. My dad fed foxes in the yard all the time. I live at a fox preserve. Oh, that's cool. The ones here eat me alive. I can't imagine the bite marks from bigger ones. Yeah, mosquitoes. Oh. And I know up there in like Minnesota, Wisconsin, like Ohio, in the summer, they get really bad. The mosquitoes can get really bad. Rita says, I love picnics, but in the mountains, I worry about bears coming up. So Rita, I probably would too, but if we had the car parked within like 20 feet. So, and there, okay, I could be wrong. Anybody correct me. I don't usually see bears sprinting that fast. Like often they're kind of lumbering around, looking for food. Like the one in the yard today was turning over rocks, looking for stuff. So if we saw one coming again, but I gave you the survival tips from the article. So hopefully you're able to use those. I have bunnies in the yard, so they're big and scare my puppers. You know, that was the only kind of messed up thing from the motorcycle ride the other day. When I went on that NC 127 highway, and I'm a safe rider, but it was starting to get to dusk, and there were bunnies everywhere. And the road obviously was not maintained by the county or anybody. It must have been private property. For miles and miles, the brush was like 2 feet high. Well, I'm not a bunny expert, but it appeared to me that when the engine got within the vicinity, it scared the bunnies and they would go across the road. I didn't like that, but I've taken, the motorcycle safety course and whatnot. You never swerve for that stuff. If anything, my bike has excellent braking. It actually has high performance braking on it. It can stop from 60 or 70 and very, very short distance. So you just brake straight. You don't swerve. You don't move. You just brake straight. And actually, the motorcycle is pretty big, so it could go over probably a rodent with minimal, but I don't even want to challenge it. But the bunnies were going across the road. I didn't like that too much. I've not really, in all my years riding, I've never really had a problem with that. It was just that day, I think, because I was in some back areas. Yes, watch your picnic basket. Big brown bunnies. And my neighbor has her pet pig in a pen that is unreal, so the alligator will not get her. Lots of swampland here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, not ready for the movie theater yet. Yeah, that's kind of a wait and see. I think that's like a 2021 in my book. Personally, I don't think so. Yeah, own part of it. Yeah, people sneezing and coughing. Yeah, no thanks. I think one vaccine will be available that will calm people more down. Yeah, Faye, I follow that news a bit. If you're still around, companies like Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, I think Invio. There's like a half a dozen, and then the Regeneron and others that are making the antivirals. The problem is that you can't. They have the vaccine, but it has to go through all the human clinical trials, and you can't compress the time, or it's not safe. So the last timelines I've seen and been following is the end of year, maybe for emergency medical workers, and probably Q1, Q2 next year. And then I talked about in last live stream, there's some doctors that feel already it's controversy, not from an anti-vaxxer standpoint, but the fact that like no vaccine has ever been pushed through this quickly. Will there be side effects? I don't know how to answer that one. I was under the impression that I'll go to Walgreens and get that $15 shot or $10 or whatever it is. And I'm not a big fan of shots, but I'll get in line for this one so we can get back to normalcy. We're just getting to phase 3 in Nashville. I don't understand why they think it's okay to open wave pools, but not other things. Right. Rita's right. This is what's driving people nuts, is the inconsistencies in the phased approach in all the states. Like that's what bothered people in North Carolina. Like, how is it okay to open a restaurant, but I can't open a gym with some of the healthiest people, you know, blah, 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 blah. And people make all these arguments. That's why I said it's kind of this imperfect, you know, kind of method to get us back to everything open. I don't know what. Yeah, I think it's just going to be messy all the way until, like they said, you know, a vaccine, and we can start to put this one behind us. Bugs galore, gnats. Gnats drive me crazy. If I'm out mowing or something and they're, you know, getting in my face. Yeah, giving a silent but deadly a whole new meaning. We don't know. That's right. I probably missed that one. But that's that's right up my alley. I love that kind of humor. We're kind of laid back here. So here they've been doing outdoor workouts and so offering some gyms online. Yeah, you know, they're trying to monetize the stream stuff, streaming workouts. And then there's that one called the Mirror or whatever. I mean, I wonder if it seems kind of gimmicky. It probably works. You know, working out's all about just doing the effort. Whatever excites people to get into the mood, into the motive. It's all people need. And honestly, if anybody's interested, there's a plethora of free stuff on YouTube. So if you're just looking for decent workout videos, you can put in a search just about any type of workout you want. You'll find something. We have places closing down again, restaurants, bowling alley, because of increasing COVID and lack of social distancing and such. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. And the states that are more conservative in opening their reopening plan are looking to those states that were not as conservative. And again, I'm not using that in a political term when I keep saying that. It's the right word for the situation. It's a restricted, you know, approach to reopening. Yeah, Dale says, I think that will happen here in Arizona as well. By the way, will you all forgive me, because you guys, some of you talk to me over and over about where you're from, Arizona, Georgia, Florida, and I forget. So if I say again like something and you've told me like 10 times, please forgive me. Our numbers are larger now than before reopening. We had testing of migrant farm workers and hundreds of cases came about. It's interesting because a lot of places are coming in batches where people are close. Like another one besides, anytime you have workers together, like the meat plants, I remember Tyson had a problem, like in Iowa, or was it Nebraska or South Dakota? I can't remember, something like that. Anywhere where people were getting close together, it's so aggressive. But just from what I've read, it's what makes it different. It's like if you don't have it, you're good. But if you get near it, it's very aggressive, and it's, you know, moving from person to person. That's what makes it kind of scary. 10 Deborah say, you do a fantastic job with your chats. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate the kudos there. You cover pretty much everything of importance. You should be on the radio or have a TV news spot. Yeah, well, I have a live stream, and right now we've got, my screen's right, we got about 20 people here, and so I hope everybody enjoys it. I enjoy the format, and I enjoy the conversation. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. And you can feel free to continue to give me feedback about the video quality tonight if it ever got grainy, because maybe what I did was right. But I need to see it happen 2 weeks in a row for it to be proven that the lower resolution combined with not pulling up websites last week was kind of a mess, because each news article you know how it is when you pull up news. That's how they make money with all the ads, and then the videos kept popping up, and it took all my bandwidth. I'm in Northeast Wisconsin, which is about 2 hours from the border of Upper Michigan. Marquette is cool. Just don't go there in the winter. Mackinaw's area is great. Right, Mackinac. Isn't there something called Mackinac Island? Am I correct, Chad? Mackinac Island, I heard, was like a cool place that you have to go by ferry. I think I had seen that on a show called Little People Big World, which is on TLC. I swear they went to a place called Mackinac Island, or where. Yeah, let me know. Let me know if I'm sounding crazy or making all this up, at least that. Kentucky Girl said, did your son get your garage door opener fixed? Well, seeing as how I'm in North Carolina and my folks are in Ohio, no, I did not. I would have. And then I would have made an eclectic handyman video. So I could have been like, I'm at my folks' house and I'm putting up a new, what do you call it? The digital keypad. Would have been doing that. What is going to happen now? There's not going to be a workforce for food farms. The food will go up and there will be a food shortage. Yeah, we've seen that in a small increments. Like at Walmart, I can still barely get red meat. It's particular to Walmart. Now, if I go to the local grocery, I don't have any problem. I can get hamburger steak. I mean, I don't try not to eat red meat a ton, maybe once every week or two. But if I want it, like yesterday we had burgers, you can't get it from Walmart. You know where I went yesterday? If any of you are from the South, because I've bounced around a little bit, I went to Bilo. If any of you are from the South and know that grocery store, I didn't even know they were still open. There's a Bilo out in Brevard. I hadn't been in years. I still have my card, the little discount card thing. That's where we got our food yesterday, was from Bilo. So if any of you have ever been to Bilo, you remember all the southern grocery stores, a lot of them closed. Like when I first lived in the Charlotte area, we had Food Lion. There was no Piggly Wiggly there, but they have Piggly Wiggly in South Carolina. Food Lion, Piggly Wiggly, Bilo, Harris Teeter. Publix was in Florida, although Publix has come up. This part of North Carolina, we have Ingles. And on the other side, you have Food City. Lots of local grocery stores. I probably named a few of your favorites there. Takes about the same amount of time to get to the western part of UP as it does to get to Asheville. We live close to Detroit. Right, Big Daddy. So I did that once. It takes as long to go to Asheville to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, which is like the UP from Detroit, as it does to go from Ohio to Asheville. It's like 500 miles. Some of these states are just big. So if you go, long-wise or, longitude or latitude or whatever, east to west, north to south, and you go the distance, they're big states and they take a long time. My mom says, Kentucky Girl, tad far for him to pop up and fix it, but he would. I would. I didn't even see that comment yet. A lot of our crops go to China, so no biggie, but going to hurt people at a local level that I care about. Yeah, I don't know. That's, again, not my area of expertise, but I just hope from a global perspective, everybody makes out well and we can get past all of this as soon as possible. That's what would be nice. Sexy Matt, I'm sorry, I'm a little delayed. Your comment was at 9:26. I'm 10 minutes behind. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Sexy Matt also has a YouTube channel. He is a talented musician. If you would like to check him out, please do so. I will plug anybody's channel because I will plug anybody's channel. Okay. Hi, Sexy Matt. Hi, Sexy Matt. Hi, Sexy Matt. Hi, Sexy Matt. Sexy Matt, you are popular. Everybody loves you. And they should, because I got this would be cool. Illinois will finally be going on phase 4 on Friday. Thank God. Yeah. Oh, phase 4. So that must be more reopening. Yeah. We've been talking about that, Sexy Matt. Some of, North Carolina is a little more restrictive on that. He's doing well. Lots of requests go through this week. My workout has been lugging water to water all the things I planted this spring. Yeah. It's a great time to be working on the house or out in the yard or even any of that. Excellent exercise to be just doing stuff around the house. I know I have been too. Dale Bush says Richard Simmons even has his videos back on YouTube. Boy, that's a blast from the past. You guys remember him? I don't want to sound like I'm unknowledgeable. Is he still alive? I know he had health problems for a while, didn't he? But I think these aren't the old. Are these the old? Anyway, I don't know. I think he's still alive. Foxy Wolf says, work it, girls. Work it, girls. That's right. Yeah. Hey, even Kentucky Girl read my mind. Is Richard still alive? Okay, I wasn't the only one. Hey, Chris, about t-shirts. I coughed when I got excited. How you doing, buddy? Are you doing all right? You can't respond to me like audio. I could if I had you on the live stream. I should do another one of those and get a few of you guys. Welcome to the live stream, Chris. I hope you and Mindy are having a great start to your week. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Everything's going well with you guys. Please tell her we said hello. Dale confirmed. Richard Simmons is in his early 70s. That's good. Uh-oh. A little blurry now. That makes me sad. Oh, I thought I had conquered it. All right. I tried. Let me see. Maybe close this other tab. Close this tab. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully nobody jumped on the internet. Anyway, hopefully it's not too blurry. You know, it's so sensitive. Like it could be YouTube. Like it may not be my internet if YouTube, I don't want to point the finger at YouTube, but it's so easy to do. But if they're, you know, if I have decent enough amount and then all of a sudden YouTube gets bogged down to their servers and they have to start throttling people, maybe I take an impact to that. Let me know if it got better. Chris said it was also blurry. Poop. Well, it was going so well. So, oh well. Hopefully it's at least better. I'm not changing the format. I'm still going to keep the format with the presentation and the lower resolution. I'll go back and take a look at it and gauge it. Hopefully it's not as bad as it has been. Chad confirmed, yes, the only way to the island is the ferry. Been there a few times. Beautiful place to visit. It can get expensive. That's in reference to Mackinac Island. Yeah, I imagine. And Chad, let me know. My guess is they have to make all their revenue in a period of time, let's say, in the summer months, because in the winter it's probably like an ice cube up there, right? And only the local yokels and government, you know, living up there. So yeah, Mackinac Island is very nice to visit. It says Valley Mountain. Valley Mountain, if I didn't say hello to you, but I've been reading your comments, hello to you, and I hope you're having a great start to your week. I don't know, Kentucky Girl, if he's seen how hard I work today, he'd probably cry and hold my hand. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Everybody who's getting out and about. Sweating to the oldies. Yeah, that's old Richard Simmons. A little choppy. Yeah. Hopefully it got better. Foxy Wolf says, Bilo is buying up Harvey's and groceries in this area. I didn't know they were still doing well. So that's, I mean, that's an old classic, an old. When we lived in the south side of Charlotte, about 2 miles from Carowinds, the theme park, not far from there was a Bilo. That was the closest grocery store to where we lived. And we used to go there quite often because it was still Bilo. Winn-Dixie. I forgot to mention Winn-Dixie. We had Winn-Dixie as well. A lot of grocery stores. Chris said he had a Bilo in Knoxville. They had amazing salad I would get for dinner very often. Yeah. I thought they had pretty good prices yesterday. The premier grocery in the South as far as price was always Harris Teeter, and in Florida it was Publix. I mean, those are the two that have the nice carts, the wheels don't wobble, the floors are always waxed, but the prices are always like 50 cents to $2 higher on every single item in the store than what you find at Walmart. So if you like, if budget isn't the thing and you want a nice experience, Publix and Harris Teeter were always the premium. I think Ingles is very nice in Western North Carolina. They've struck a good balance. They have a very nice grocery store with carts that don't have messed up wheels, and they have good prices too. Thank you, Kentucky Girl. Let's hit the thumbs up before we end. Yeah, always give Mr. Mountain Man a thumbs up. I like what Chris says. Chris says, only hit the thumbs up if you like it. So when I am able to join his live stream, I follow it up by saying in the chat, I'll say, no. Everybody hit the thumbs up. Because Chris is like, if you don't like it, be honest. Well, I always tell people in his live stream, like, no, you only got one option. You hit the thumbs up. So, hey, it looks like I'm almost caught up. If I missed anybody's comment, let me know. Usually May through September, October, with summer months being the busiest. Wisconsin has Washington Island, which you get to go by ferry also. Would like to check that out someday. Chad, I was mentioning, or to the whole group here, one of my favorite places in Wisconsin is House on the Rock. If you guys haven't seen it before, It's worth visiting. It's worth taking the family. I went there as a kid. I went there if Mr. Mountain Mom is still here. If you don't have a chance to visit or never going to visit, the Carpetbagger has a 3-part video on his channel about House on the Rock. It's very, very cool place. Check it out. And it's clear now. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was looking at chuck roast yesterday. It was $29. Is that, I don't know how many pounds that is, but was it a good deal? And which grocery was that, Rita? But that would make a great several meals. It should, right? Kentucky Girl says, as far as grocery stores, I always like to go to a jungle gym like Cashew Paul always tells about. Oh, okay. As far as a grocery stores, I like to go to a jungle gym. Yeah, I'm actually not sure what that reference is, but let me know. The jungle gym. Yeah. So let me know what you're talking about, Kentucky Girl, because I might have missed the reference there. That's awesome. Corgi Lover says the first Ingalls I went to was in Black Mountain. Black Mountain is actually, if I'm not incorrect, is the home of Ingalls. If you drive on I-40 past Black Mountain going east or west, and you look, if you're headed east, it's on the left, right, or right on the west, the huge distribution center for Ingalls. So it makes sense that it would be definitely in Black Mountain. My wife said bacon is really high now. Yeah, some items I remember during the peak of COVID too, when we were at home, chicken got really expensive. It wasn't getting a good deal. Jungle Gym. Chris about t-shirts will know. Oh, okay. I might have made a. It looks like he said it's Jungle Gyms. It's a good store. I may have a video on it, but I'm not shouting myself out. Yes, you should, Chris. Chris has a channel. I always shout out everybody. If I missed anybody's channel, Chris has it. Saxy Matt was leaving. Have a good evening, Saxy Matt. Yeah, I'll be wrapping it up in 5 or 10 minutes here as well. Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, if Chris has might have a video on Jungle Gyms. I hadn't heard of that grocery store before. Is that like in the Midwest or like the mid or central part of the United States? You'll have to let me know where that is. Chad says, haven't been there. Does anybody happen to know what city it's located in? Yes, House on the Rock is in South Central Wisconsin. It is located between the cities of Dodgeville and Spring Green, Wisconsin. So you have to look that up, but I believe that is South Central Wisconsin. I can't remember how many hours it is from like Chicago. That's how we went. Marvin says, House on the Rock is fabulous. Yes, it is. Yeah, and Dale said it's by Spring Green. And so I'm not familiar with the cities. I just read off the internet. Food Lion, it wasn't that big, about 3.5 pounds. Oh, so that is, yeah, that's expensive then. So what, you're talking about $7 to $9 a pound if I'm doing my math right? You'll have to let me know if that's a good deal. I don't buy a lot of chuck roast, but let me know. I keep a database in my head of like chicken, ground beef, steak, pork chops, depending on the cut, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, thanks, Chris. You can let Cashew know I gave him a plug on a live stream. There you go. Yes. Yeah, if there's a video, you'll have to let us know for sure. Foxy Wolf says, I will shout you out, Chris, about t-shirts. House on the Rock is a must that is so hard to really appreciate from any video. Your grandmother went there first. Yeah, we really liked it. House on the Rock is awesome. And again, if you don't ever anticipate going to Wisconsin or that area, check out the Carpetbaggers videos. They're the best that I know of. If anybody knows better ones, let me know. They're kind of raw. He walked around with like his camera, and so they're not. It's not like a documentary, but if you like it and you're interested, you could probably go to eBay and find the documentary because they sold it there. Chris says that grocery is in the Cincinnati, Ohio area, which is interesting because I grew up in Central Ohio in Columbus, and it did not have Jungle Gyms. We had Kroger's, and then Giant Eagle moved in there after I left. They had Myers. Walmart moved in after I left, and some other grocery stores. We had, when I was growing up, a grocery store called Big Bear. Let's see if anybody knows that one. That may have been Central Ohio only. Ground beef at Kroger's is $7 a pound. Whoa. If that's organic or something, that might make sense, but that is expensive. I love the Wisconsin Dells. I believe Brent from the White Lab Workshop. I don't think he ever comes to my live streams. I'm always talking about him. This guy, he has been there. I'm pretty sure he told me he went there. He doesn't have any videos on his channel, but I'm just trying to think of who I know that went there. Yeah. Kentucky Girl, I will let him know. I always give him a shout out for his awesome videos. Again, if anybody has YouTube videos or YouTube channel, love to mention your name and what you have to promote. I'm all about that. All about that. I have 2 buy lows in my town, but the Food Lion is buying them out here. Yeah. You know what's so funny is like when I lived down in Florida, Food Lion went out of business. Winn-Dixie, well, I should say out of business. The stores closed. Food Lion closed. Winn-Dixie closed. Publix was really big, took over. Publix and Walmart were really the big ones there. Yeah. Rita said it wasn't a good deal at the grocery. Yeah, that doesn't sound like it. Dale was right. Your memory was right, is where House in the Rock was. Oh, Chad says, good night, Mr. Mountain Man. All great chat. Have a good one. Talk to you next week. Thanks for joining, Chad, and love the conversation. Great having you here. Appreciate it. Marvin Carlton says ground beef is $6 a pound here. Yeah. You know, I bought pre-cut burgers yesterday, and they were only a couple pounds, and it was $12. They always charge you more when the burgers are already pre-cut. But yeah, so that was more expensive, but I don't think we're quite paying that. Jungle Gym is a grocery store with all items from all around the world. Is that like a, well, I've never actually been to like a World Market or Trader Joe's or something like that. I don't know. You have to let me know. Loggy Doggy is wishing us good night. 3:30 comes early. Yes, it does. Be safe. Thanks, mods. Appreciate it. Thank you. Especially, I didn't see any crazy comments in here tonight, so if the moderators are jumping in and doing well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Chicken and pork chops, much cheaper, around $1.99 a pound. Yes, chicken went up during the pandemic, and I was not able to get $1.99 a pound. Sam's usually sells it at $1.99. I wasn't able to get it, but that's usually my gauge of good deal on chicken breast, which I like because for bodybuilding, chicken breast is a great source of protein. Grandparents' honeymoon, the Dells, 70 years married. Yeah, that is cool. I did not know that. Maybe I did and I just forgot. That's nice to know. Sam's Club has the best prices for me. It does. It does. It's just been, Sam's Club and Walmart are so popular during the pandemic that their meat selection has not been good. So again, I've been going to Ingles and the other grocery stores for that. Well, I'm all caught up, and I think that's going to about do it for this Mountain Man Monday. I hope that everyone enjoyed. If you missed it, again, I keep the live stream on the main videos tab for until the next one comes alive, and then they're all online. They're all archived in the live stream playlist if you want to see them. I will be having another video coming out this week, which is you'll be able to take a look at my ride up to Mount Mitchell on the motorcycle. So I'm excited about that. I hope you all enjoy that. If you haven't seen the Metcalf Bottoms Park, that was my most recent video on the channel. And again, I really enjoyed the conversation. Thank you to everyone who showed up tonight. It's always fun hanging out and talking to you all. I hope that you all have a great night. And yeah, so good night to Chris About T-Shirts, Faye, Marvin, Kentucky Girl, Rita, Big Daddy, Chad, Handmade Blessings by D. Cobb, Dale Bush, Mom, Loggy Doggy, and Foxy Wolf, and did I say Kentucky Girl? And Corgi Lover was on here, and Jason, and Liz, and anybody I missed, I apologize to you. I hope you guys have a great week. And as always, I let you know on Twitter, / Mr. Mountain_man, if I'm going to be having the live stream or not. I've been on a roll, been able to do these each week, keeping them the new format and keeping them to roughly about an hour to 75 minutes. I hope you guys have a great and safe week. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy everything where you are. Stay connected on the channel and through Instagram. And until next time, Mr. Mountain Man saying, see you later. Everybody have a great week and good night.